Hello, good evening. Haven't got anyone with me at the moment. That's okay. Oh, hello. Looks like someone there. Be just waiting for a little bit. Oh, hello, Wendy. How are you, lovely? Thank you for checking in. Just wait for a little bit, lovely. I decided to come on early tonight because I heard that the Art by Marlene video was going live tonight, but it actually went live this morning, so I think Tammy sort of miscalculated her time, so I thought I won't change it. You're cold, are you, darling? Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sitting here in short sleeves at the moment because I'm feeling quite hot. But anyway, so I thought I'd just leave the time the same, even though I know some people are probably eating and that kind of thing. But I'll just wait a second, wait for a few more to catch up. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah, I had a look at it because I put the posts up for tonight, and as soon as I stopped doing all of that, then I noticed it came up on my Facebook or somewhere that it was there. So I watched it this afternoon. It's lots of good stuff. Yeah, it's on YouTube. So go to YouTube and look up Art by Marlene on YouTube. Yeah. We've got someone else who's just joined in. Hello, hello. Oh, hello, Jackie. Hey, how are you, my lovely? Thank you for joining in. Just got a couple of you here. I'll just wait a little bit longer, and before I start, hopefully we'll get a few more on. Suppose you're nice and cold down there too, Jackie? We're having beautiful days. You know, it's short sleeve weather in daytime, but you know, it cools down quickly at night. Yeah, sunny today. Oh, has it been yucky, has it? We are apparently getting some wet weather in the next couple of days, I think. So we've had our sunny days, and looks like maybe we're getting the rain that you've had. I think by the weekend it's going to be a little bit wet. Well, girls, I might get started because it is, according to my phone, my clock says it's 5 past, so I think we'll get started. And so welcome, thank you for joining me on the Hillbilly Scrapping website, Facebook group. And so tonight I'm just going to be playing with the new Dina Wakley stamp. Well, one of them, this is the one that I have, and a few more Lindys. And I love this set. It's such a bright set. It's actually a flat. It's called the Mountain Meadows, but it's a flat one. But this is something I'd done once before for one of the Lindy's challenges, but I've actually done it on my glittery watercolor paper. So it does have a little bit of a glitter to it. You might not see it here, but that's just, the colors are just so vibrant. And once upon a time I wasn't real keen on the flat Lindys, but in the last, I guess, 12 months, I've really grown to love them, and because I think the colour vibrancy is so much nicer than with some of them, the shimmery ones. The shimmer seems to stand out more, and you lose a little bit of that intensity of colour. And quite often I will, if I'm using the shimmery ones, I might actually add a little bit of a flat colour as well into it, just to lift up that colour a little bit. But yeah, so, and I thought, so I've got those colours out there, and that's the swatch that I had done, which is also on that glittery. So you can see that the colours are really nice and quite a lot of, not so much vibrant, but have a lot of strength in them. And I'm going to work in my Dina Wakley journal. What is it? The ledger journal. And so I have done a little bit of something on there, because you know what it's like, Lindy's take a while to dry, but on this paper it doesn't. So I'll start off by doing some over here, and I'm going to be using the Mountain Meadow Green and the Evergreen Emerald first off. So I've got my little, I hope you can see it on the side there, but I've got my little ceramic container here, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of these two colours, just a little bit, put that in there, and I use this one as well. Alright, so get my water and my pipette, and I think we've got a couple more joining in now, so that's good. Now, depending on how much water you put in, as to how much strength you have, I'm going to put a little bit more water in this, because I have got the mix from this afternoon when I was playing around. So I've got a couple of mixes here that I can use. But yes, you can always just add more water if you want to add a little bit more, if you want to change the colour down a little bit. So I'm just getting the end of my brush, and because it's green, I'm not going to worry about cleaning it. Only if it's a different colour that I would clean it. And for those that just joined in, I was mentioning before that I decided to start at 7 because I heard that the Art by Marlene release was going to be live tonight, but that timing was wrong, and it actually was released this morning. So I didn't bother to change the time, because I just thought it was too confusing for everyone. So I've just got my big brush. I love using this big brush because it really sops up all of the liquid, and then I get a nice amount of Lindy's on the page. I haven't done anything to the page here, no clear gesso or anything, because I want the paper to absorb this, because it's effectively a watercolour that we're doing here. So, and I just really, I just push the colours around, not doing anything in particular, just like you would with just normal colours, just pushing it around. Then I'll dip into the other colour. So it's quite, so I usually start in the middle here and then just push out towards the other colour and just let them do the mixing. I don't do the mixing too much, I let them. And I want to keep a little bit of white space as well. I quite like this journal. I don't use it all the time, but I do like, when I play in it, I do like playing with it. It's quite good. So I'm just going to let that sort of dry off itself for a little bit, which is why I prepared that one this afternoon, so that I can just go straight into it. And then I'll do something similar with that page. So I'm just going to let that just dry by itself. Oh, hello, Faye. How are you? I prefer to, when, you know, I know I say this time and time again, when I'm working with Lindy's, I like to let it dry as naturally as possible. I just feel you get a better intensity of colours when you let them dry naturally. And yeah, so, you know, because you're getting these puddles of paint all over the place. So I want that to absorb into the paper and just do its own thing, which is kind of what I did over here this afternoon. So it's the same process. The only thing I haven't done is that the deep tealy colour, I actually did some spots. Did a bit of sort of splattering over it as well, just to make, but I must admit it was a bit drier, but that's okay. Alright, okay. Yeah, so something I might mention too is, I personally, because there's a lot of pages in this book, and I have personally decided, I've actually ripped out quite a few pages, because, well, for tonight I have actually done a die cut on one of these pages, but I think, because I've only done 2 or 3 and it's getting quite thick already, and so that's the problem with my journals. I don't know about anybody else's, but my journals become so cumbersome because I've just got so much inside it. So if you're very, 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 very careful, you can, I just put some, I can't show you now because I've done that there, but where the sewing part is in the signature, I actually do the page after it, and I just very, very gently just pull one side out and then pull the other side out. So I've actually got quite a few here that I can do other bits and pieces with. So I made sure that I had some of the blank ones as well. So that will allow my book to get a little bit thicker without it being too, you know, sitting up. Because I'll show you, this is my craft journal. I started this at the beginning of the year. Oh, gosh, there's a gecko. Get up, get away. My goodness, there's a gecko in my book. I think he got more of a fright than I did. Oh, there he is. Can you see? Ah, goodness me. All right, so this is my book. And I've still got a few pages left, only a few. But can you see how big it is? And, you know, I don't want to compromise my crafting. But, you know, there's too many pages in there, and this is a very thick paper anyway. So I decided that I would take out pages of this one. I do it all often in my dilutions, you know, the dilutions books. I always take out at least one page from every signature, just to try and keep it down a little bit. But anyway, we digress. So that is just something I thought I'd mention, because I will be using, I've done a couple of die cuts tonight, so I'll see how I go with using those. So we've got this page over here that is nice and dry. It's been dried naturally, and you can see that the Lindy's does absorb quite nicely. I really like the effect that it has on it. I mean, it's not a watercolor paper, it's just a normal bond paper that's been used there, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now, what I'm going to use is, on this one now, I'm going to grab, I want to put a contrast color, because we've got some of that, the blank paper, what we'll call the white space, and I'm going to use some of the Wild Rose Rouge. Where's my sample gone? Okay, so here's the Wild Rose Rouge, and it's sort of like a winey sort of colour. Okay, so I'm going to grab that. Now, can you still see? Let me just, sorry, I've got all excited when the gecko. Can't believe I had a little gecko in my now I've lost mine. Oh, for goodness sake. What did I do with it? Probably threw it away when the gecko came. Oh, go away. Oh, he's still there. Go away. Sorry, guys. If I start screaming, it's because the gecko's jumped at me. We should go away because I'm not going anywhere. All right. Just put a little bit there. Actually, I probably should have. I'm sorry. I should have, because what I'm going to do now, I should have put it onto here. My apologies. Just put some on here. It won't go to waste because anything that's left over, I usually just put on paper and cut it up for ATCs or thank you cards. Excuse me. So for this time, so you can see I've put a tiny little bit, hello Susan, tiny little bit on the palette there, and I'm just going to spray to activate it. I hope you can see that there. Just a little bit of spray. And what have I got here that I can use? Just see what I've got here. Alright. Okay, got my a paper artsy stencil here that's still in its plastic. So what I'm going to do is just tap onto that. I've got colour onto there, and I am just going to... Now, if you saw my video last month, very similar sort of techniques I did on that as well. The only problem is, I should have thought of that too, now it looks like someone's been murdered on my page. That's okay. We'll tone that back a little bit. Probably should have used the other pink colour. But yeah, so apart from someone bleeding to death on my page, it looks pretty good. Just getting rid of some of that. Okay. So what I will do is, I wouldn't always do this, but because this is this bright red pinky colour, I'm just dabbing off some bits because I don't want it to be too bright and blood looking. Okay, so that's the only reason why I'm dabbing that for now. Yes, Wendy, I've always done it. I know it can be a waste, but then I use the papers for something else, like die cuts or whatever. So it's not wasted. Now that's pooling a lot over here. So again, I might just do that over here. I won't do this page necessarily tonight, but I will do something similar to blend in a little bit. It's got a little bit of the red on there already. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to wipe off that stencil, and he's all good. So I shall grab, just want to make sure this is dry. Come on. Oh. Oh, what have I done? Now I'm going, excuse me, I'm going to do some stenciling over this as well. Might just dry that off while it's almost dry there. I'll just give that a helping hand. Yeah, so I'm going to do some stenciling over this so it will push back that pinky colour back a bit. I think it's nice, okay, but you know, we do have to be careful when we're using pinks and reds as a colour, because, and I think that's why we don't use it a lot, because it does look like someone's committed Harry-Carry on your page. But that is all good. Something I should mention too, on my palette here, I've actually been doing another project for a couple of days ago, and so you can see that the Lindy's that I was using has actually dried. Now a lot of you probably know this already, but I can reactivate those. I'll grab this one's a bit more direct. I'll go with the purple one. So I've just sprayed some water into there, and I'll get my brush, and you can give it a bit of a, oops, oh dear. So that has been reactivated, and I can put that and use it again. Okay, so it will reactivate. Sometimes I'll throw a bit more powder in just to give it a bit more oomph, but you don't always have to clean it out because you don't want to waste it, because you want to get as much value out of your Lindy's as possible. Right, so we might go on to some stenciling here. Another Dina Wakley stencil that I've got that's been around for ages. Can't even tell you what the name of it is, I'd have to have a look. But I'm sure many of you have it in your stash. And I've decided that I'm going to use Night on this. And so we'll do a little bit on this background, and then I'll show you the focus stamps that I'm going to be using. I might use sponge. Okay, so I've only put a little bit out. I'll probably need to do more, but just doing a little bit. A little bit there, and I'm going to need more. Bring that over there so I can just give myself a bit more room. Okay, so we've got quite a few of you in there now, so that's great. Thank you for joining, the people who have just tuned in. I'm working with Lindy's. The last time I checked, there was some in stock, so if you haven't got it, I'm sure Jen, there was, the other day when I looked, there was some, so I'm hoping it's still there for you if you haven't got it. So we're just having another play with our Lindy's today, and we're using the Mountain Meadows set. It's another one, it's been around for a little while, but you can use any Lindy's that you have. Alright, just a little bit there, just do a little bit more up the top there. Okay, alright. Okay, so that's kind of taken the intensity away from that pink, so that's good. So it's still there poking through, but now, actually what I don't like is I need that to be coming off the page. It's funny how you do things and you think, oh, that's not right. It's annoying me. Okay, all right, so we've got that. Now, what else did I have here? Bit of a stamp on, a bit of stamping. I don't know what I want. Maybe I just do a bit of a, oh, I've got text on there. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I decided, I have already cut out some images, stamped images onto the, onto some cardstock. And I've actually done a couple with embossing powder as well, because I want to show you what working with that. And so this is the stamp, and I am going to, I've decided to do some background stamping in that. So we'll put that to the side, and to the side, get rid of my trusty little box. Okay, stamp pad, I thought I had one out. Here he is. Okay. And I'm not going to use a block. I'm just going to just add some stamping, because this will tie it in once I add a little bit of ghost stamping, so it's very liney. Okay, I'll put that there. All right. Okay, so just a little bit. Again, it's just to take your eye away from the background. You know, where the background's meant to be as a background. I even toyed with doing some of that stamping on some on Dina's collage paper, but I've decided not to. But you could do that as well, as stamp some of the images onto the collage paper and add that to your page as well. Okay, I think I might grab, just looking here, I might grab black, just looking for black, got a little bit of black in this one. Now, I know Jen bought some of these sets. I'm fairly sure she still had them when I was looking recently. So the Montmartre acrylic inks, and you can buy them. They come in little sets. A little bit of water on that, and I'm just going to sprinkle now. When it depends on what kind of a splatter person you are. I don't mind a bit of intensity, so I do too much, but you know, I do like a little bit of intensity. And I'll probably put a bit more on later too, because we haven't done our focal images or anything like that. So I'll just leave that to the side there. Some of it's gone onto there, and I'm okay with that, because these pages are going to link together eventually. But I might just put a little bit of dryer onto that, because it's quite thick. I do enjoy working in this journal. I wasn't sure if I would, but it's nice for a bit of a change. Alright, so that is going to take a little while to dry because of the big, so I'll just sort of bring that up to the camera a little bit, just so you can sort of see. So we've well and truly pushed that background back, I believe, and so yeah, so that pink colour will just pop through in the end. So I'll just put that aside for the moment, because I want to bring out these images that I've stamped previously. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily use all of these. I just often, when I get a new stamp, we've got it there to play with and do whatever. Just need to wipe this off a bit. I've got to get out my new mat. I've got a mat. This one is just gone beyond. I've had it for a long time, but it's just losing all of its whatever. Okay. So bring these back out. Just one. Okay. Alright, so we've got our stamped images, and like I said, I did a few. That one was a disaster, but we won't talk about that. And, you know, I wouldn't say I was the best embosser out. I mean, card makers would probably cringe when they see this, but I don't mind that there's a little bit of the black splattering all over it, because I'm going to colour these in, and to me that's just going to add to the charm a little bit. The reason why I like to emboss images when I'm doing this is I'm going to be using the Lindy's on here, and sometimes when it's embossed it just helps to contain if you've got an intricate design that you want to put different colours in, it just kind of helps to stop that blending a bit. This one's pretty open, so I won't be doing a lot of different colours on it because a lot of it is going to sort of blend in. But it's just, I quite often like to emboss images so that when I do my Lindy's, it's all quite interesting. And I'm just going to colour in a few of these. I might not necessarily use all of them, but we'll just see how we go. Now, I'll bring this over. I was going to use... Actually, that one's pretty full. Let me grab another one. I'll use this one. Now, I'm going to be using the pink. And I never did find... Just put a little bit in there. Which I might put a bit more. You don't need a lot, okay? You can always add more to it if you need to, but you don't need a lot to get vibrant colour. Depending on the colour that you're using, of course. The pastel ones, you might need a bit more colour. So we'll see how we go with that. Now this is just cardstock that I'm using. It's actually, it would be the BRT cardstock that that Jen gives you when you do the retreat. She usually gives you a packet of cardstock from BRT, and that is what this has been done on. And so you can see here, I'm just... The colour is kind of staying pretty much into it, so that's pretty good. I might just put a little bit there, so I will be able to use the other colour. I might even use that purple that because I'm going to just cut this out as a square too, so you know I will just go all over, and I'm not doing a portrait per se, so I'll just go over. And I'm just making some colours, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm just going to grab some of the... Might even blend a little bit there. Just take that out. So that's what I've got there, just doing a little bit of a play with that one. I can always add a little bit more if I feel it needs it. So we're not looking... This one I might put some of that green on. I'm just taking it past because I don't know how far out I will. And then I'll grab the tealy colour. And they're going to blend in, and that's okay. And then that will then blend in with the background as well. Alright, so I'll leave that there like that. Just move that to the side. So I'll just put these to the side so they can do their own thing. And I'll bring this out. And because this is just very generic sort of painting that I'm doing here, so if you know, rainy afternoon, if you want to do something, you don't feel like creating a lot, get your Lindys out and just have a little bit of a play. Doing all these sorts of things, stamps, do your stamping. Prepare some images for, I don't know, for birthday cards or journals. And I always try to make sure that I've got a couple little bits there. Let's see. And of course, whatever paper you use will give a different effect. Where is it though? Oh. I'm just going to pop over to that purple that I had before. I might need a bit more water in it. I'll put some of that purple. That I reactivated before. Now I might bring this in. And I might reactivate a couple of these other colours as well. Now, you're going to ask me what these are. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look at what I'm doing. So there's that one there. I won't be colouring them all. I'll do one of these. Now, a colour that I haven't used is this Stormy Sky. This one's a deeper blue. So those two colours together go very well. Okay, so I'll put a bit more of this on, and I might dip my finger into there. So I'm just wanting a couple of different ones. I'll just do one of these that. Just to give it a bit of strength of colour, and finish it off with this one. Just lifted that up so it does drip into there. All right. Hello, Michelle. How are you, darling? So, got a little bit of a dot there. That's okay. Let's put a... Okay. All right. Now, that's something I was thinking of doing. Turning it into a Mondrian a little bit. All right. So I'll just let that dry off and let it do its thing. Actually, no, I'll dry it off now. I just had a bit of a flicker on my screen, so I hope you guys are okay. I'm very well, thank you. Whoops. Bit too much on there. Alright, so we've got a few of those things, still a bit damp, but that's the problem when you're working with Lindy's on a live. Now I'm going to get myself into a whole heap of trouble here. Let me just move some of these bits. Put that up there. So I'm just going to knock. Hey. Yeah, yes, look, it could be, it is just cutting out for a second, but yeah, so it might be mine here. Well, I know it's doing that on my laptop. Yep, they're all good now. Okay, now I'm going to be careful when I cut these out because they are still a bit damp. Grab my old scissors and I'm just going to roughly cut around. I don't mind if there's a bit of white paper still showing through. Because I'll edge them up later anyway. And eyeballing, I don't even know if they're straight. But we'll see. Just like things a little bit organic. Now these guys, I was actually thinking of cutting them up. Oh gosh, they're still wet. Be very careful with these. I mean, this is not watercolour paper, so you know, I shouldn't be surprised by that. Okay. Chop them up too. Just one of those. I just want to add them around the place. Then there. And oh gosh, this is very wet. So I'll cut these out. Whether I use them all remains to be seen. Oh, I didn't do any more. We'll leave that one. Okay. So now I'll just lay them all out there for the moment so I can see what I'm doing. Now, like I said, this afternoon I actually used one of my sheets. Now, if you weren't here at the beginning, oh, sorry, I just... Di, can you hear me now? Sorry, maybe you just need to turn up your sound a little bit. Sorry, am I talking too low? But like I said before, I chopped off, pulled out some of the pages from here just to lighten the load in my book. And this afternoon I went through and just cut out a couple of shapes. I don't know if I'll be using both of them, but from the ledger paper. So this is the new Seth Apter one, and plus this one here, and just to try it out. So it's flimsy paper, but it's doable. But I thought I would use this one, and I'm probably going to chop it up a little bit, chop it in half. Okay. All right, so I've done that there. So that will, I don't know, can you sort of see it well there? I just thought I would have a go at it. So that's just going to add another little bit of texture, just to help bring in what I call the white, even though this is buff colour paper, just to bring in some of that white space. And it will help to connect my images as well. Now, I may even, so I was sort of thinking I'll do a couple of images like that and just start layering up a little bit, some bits and pieces. So I will go around the edges first off with, let me see, grab one of these, and where is my stamp pad? Okay, so I will go around the edges. Be very careful though. Just using the black, so I'm just being very loose with it all, because you know I don't want it to be perfect per se. I want it to have that sort of little bit of that grunge look about it. Just to take edge off all of these shapes. I've got to be so careful, they're still so wet. So if I was doing this, you know, myself at home, you know, in real time, I probably would even go over a couple of these again, do 2 coats. You know, I'd love to bring up that blue a bit more, make it a little bit more intense. And when you know, when you in real time, you can do that, but it would take forever to dry on a live. So it's, you've got to know your limitations on the live. And sometimes I think what I would do too is actually get the scissors and rough up the edges a little bit. But because these are still wet, I'm dicing with danger by doing that. It'll rip them to shreds. So I shan't do that tonight. So I guess the format for tonight, you know, I suppose is in like Dina style. She has that grungy sort of non-perfect type style. You know, deliberately putting them down here and that up the top. Might even put them to the sides a little bit. And so I guess that's going there. Where's my other one? Oh, here. So I'll put that one there, and I'm just placing at the moment. This is, I'm not tied to it, to this. I'm just sort of putting pieces of paper down on the page. And like I say, I may not use all of these that I've got here. I might even tuck that one in underneath. So while I'm doing this, I stop and I have a look at the television screen so I can sort of see what I'm doing, because I like the idea of the pink down there, bit of pink up the top. But I don't want to put the blue down here. I may not even use that one. I just think there's too many pages. But what I could do is slip in, whoops, a couple of the little ones like that. So, you know, I could do something like that. Okay, let me just have a look at what's going on up there. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with all of that. So I will put these on too, but I can put them on later. So I just want to sort of get a little bit down. So the first thing I've got to do is I'm just going to take a quick photo of that. I quite often do this, girls, that where I will take a photo of my layout so that when I pull it apart, I can always go back. So the first thing I've got to do is glue that one down, then glue the and glue those down, and then glue the, grab a bit of glue here, open this up. Okay. Oh, come on. Everything's kind of all seized up because I've been sick in the last couple of weeks. I haven't been in the studio as much as I should be, and so I'm finding I have to, everything's drying up or needs to be replaced or whatever when you're not using it all the time. So I'll put that there. So something I like about the Lindy's too is they do dry with a bit of permanency. See, I'm using a wet one on here, sopping up the extra glue. Now, there's moisture on there, and I'm not picking up any of the pink or any of the colours that are underneath there. So that's pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's impenetrable. I do find that just got to be careful here. I just want to put little bits all over. I do find that matte medium, you know, something really heavy like matte medium will shift it. You can use your Lindy's in gesso and texture paste, all of that kind of thing. So you can mix it, so you can colour your texture paste and your gesso. But if you put, say, collage paper over, so you put the matte medium under your collage paper and then over the top, you might get a little bit of shift of colour there. So it just means you have to be careful. But generally I find that the Lindy's are pretty permanent, and that's why I like using them. Because there's some, you know, like watercolours, you can't put layers over the top. And I'm a layer person. I love putting lots of layers in my work, and so I need each layer to be permanent because I don't know what I'm going to stick on next. Alright, so I'm going to just put that. So I've deliberately taken it over the side there a bit. Oops. Put a bit of glue on there. Oops. Yes, that one too. Alright, so I'll put that, and it doesn't matter which way these go. There we go, got those there, and we'll put this one on the top. I love this die cut, but oh gosh, it's hard to put glue on. I'll put that there, and we'll put that one over there a bit. So I've deliberately put that one down a bit further. Not all of it is stuck down, but that's okay as long as the majority of it stays there. Now let me just look at my picture. Okay, so I've got that one sitting up there, and that one sort of sitting there, and that sort of sitting there a little bit like that. Now, this is where I want to think about this before I actually do it. Push that one down a bit. So I might actually just glue this one down. Ugh. Just put that in the middle there somewhere. Now before I do that, I might grab, grab some cotton. I'll just use black. So I just want to, you can see I'm using lots and lots and lots. Chop that off. And so I just bunch it all up. The idea is that it's going to sort of sit in there somehow. Pull it out here a bit. Okay, but before I do that, what I will do is often do this. So, actually I might do it a bit, no, I'll leave it like that. So I always get a little piece of cardboard, or cardstock, sorry, and card. So then I just, and I might do 2 of these, just depends on what I'm doing. So I just tie that all up there. Then I get my tiny tacker out and just put a few staples in. It's just to kind of hold it there, and then I will glue that down. So I've got that sort of sitting there. So just make sure you position it where you want before you glue that down. Okay. Now, do I want some on this side? Yeah, maybe. Come on. It's only cotton. Oh. With the cotton. There it is. Whoops. Ah. So I always do this because it's very hard, even when I'm using cheesecloth or anything like that. I will do this, bunch it up, put it on a piece of card and staple it on. Then I glue that onto the page. I just find it's just an easier way of keeping everything in place. You just want to pretty much hold a lot of it. And so that one will probably sit there like that. We'll just see now. Where is it? So you just want to make sure that once you've done it, it's not going to show. That's the only thing you've got to be careful of. And you can still pull that all out, okay? So roughly kind of there. Get my glue. Lots of glue on it. And just hold it down just to let it attach. Okay, now before I glue this one, where is it? So if I put that, that's where I want to put my picture. So I just got to make sure that this is, okay, so there. Put it in there. I think I've got that down too much. Anyway, yeah, I probably should have shifted the picture up a bit further, but anyway, It has to be there now. Okay. Probably not so much cotton this time. It's just a good way to get some fluffy bits behind without stapling into your pad. So I'm going to put that there like that. I'll take that up. I should have put that up higher, but anyway, that's okay. As long as it's touching there. I may even just leave that, just to have the one on that one. Yep. Put that there. Big glob of glue. Just hold it so, because once you stick the picture down, a lot of that will be held in as well. I just want to make sure I've got some sticking out so that when I go to put the picture on, you will see it. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I could probably put some more things in behind, but I shan't. Just want to make sure that that's touching that. I want connection between these two. Sure that that is connected. Now I bring that up as much as I can, so just make sure you cover up your white bits, the bits that are underneath. Yes, Jackie, it is a great idea. I just find, you know, you don't want to be stapling into your pages sometimes because it goes through, or you can't staple in. So that's just a great way for me to glue anything on in the back, even like I say, when I use cheesecloth and that kind of thing, anything like that, I do it like that. That's going to take a bit of time for me to push that down, but that's okay. That's something for me later. Now, whoops, got a bit of glue on some of those, so we'll get rid of that one. So, I mean, I've got these guys here, so I can strategically place them around the place as well, because we've got a couple underneath there. They're not necessarily doing much. They're just there as a decoration thing. Oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, well, I've got two of the same design. That's okay. Now, I'm just doing this because I've got the pieces here, but, you know, I'm just trying to tie in. So that's why I don't always glue right to the very edge too, because you can see I've just tucked that in. It's because everything's still a little bit damp, those shapes, so I may not push the barrow too much tonight. I'll let them dry out overnight and glue them down after, once I've finished, because then I know I don't want to tuck anything else in. I might grab, I've got this is the Art by Marlene. I know Jen was selling, I don't know if it Oh, see if I can find that. How about this one? Be a pop of colour in a black and white world. How about that? That to me is perfect. Do I want it black? Let me just put that there, black or white. The only thing I don't like about it is colour's not spelt right. I might do the white one. That's the only thing I don't like about these kinds of things when American words. Be a pop of colour. Be a pop of colour. In a black and white world. Okay, probably would have preferred more than that, but anyway, that's okay. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use this just to make the words stand out more. I just sort of feel the words get lost in it a bit. See, I said I wasn't going to use it and I ended up using it, which is cool. Put that into there. And put that onto there. Be a pop of colour. I'll do this in a black and white world. Oh. Oh. Okay, in a oh dear, I hope that doesn't bother me that that's going sideways. Oh dear. Oh well, too bad. Okay, just scrunch that up a bit. Alright. Be a pop of colour in a black and white world. Let me just have a look at that on camera. That will do nicely. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just do lots and lots. I'll let that one sit for a bit. Just go around the edge of this. Just using black pen. Sorry, I'm not off camera. Doesn't like the pen, doesn't like it a bit. So this will look a little bit better tomorrow too. When it's dried properly, it is still a little bit damp in parts of it. Just the way it goes. Now I'm not going to do that line down there because this is kind of similar. I don't know if I'll carry something on over there or do something completely different. If I do something completely different over there, I will put a line down there, but if not, I'll just leave it for now so that I can make that decision later. But that's pretty much what I was wanting to do today, girls. So I just wanted to showcase a bit more of the Lindys and how you can use them, and have a look on the website. Jen, she should have some of the stamp. She had it the other day, so hopefully there's something there for you. Also, don't forget on on Sunday, Alyssa is doing a free workshop, and she's got a cutout sheet that you can download, so get onto that if you want to join in on Sunday. But check out the Hillbillies here. There's a message up about that. And don't forget to check out the Art by Marlene new release. The recording was released actually this morning, but if you go on to YouTube and look up Art by Marlene, you will see the new release, the release for the 1st of August. And it is really quite stunning, some of the stuff that she's got there. And yeah, so thank you for joining me. I hope you have found something interesting in amongst all of that. I will take some pictures and put it up on the website, on the Facebook here tomorrow. And yeah, so don't forget to tune in again next month on the 3rd Wednesday. I will be doing another live while Jen's away. And yeah, so thank you everyone who joined in, and yes, it's been fun, and I hope, please share if you do something similar, please share it. So something that had quite a bad, dicey looking background in the beginning, I think worked out really nice in the end. So thanks girls, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you, bye bye.